Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A man who was a juvenile lifer and spent 4 decades behind bars is now free.
It's surreal. It's mind-blowing. You know, like I'm out here in the world now. I've been out 4 hours today.
We speak with him one-on-one, and we'll tell you what's next for Charles Lewis.
All right, Coco, also the UAW one step closer to ending the strike. We'll have a look at why this weekend is so pivotal in getting people back to work.
But we begin with a 63-year-old woman found dead in an especially brutal way. The woman was beaten and left to die in a vacant home on Detroit's east side.
Her family cannot imagine who would do this to her. The investigation began this morning in a home on Meldrum near Gratiot and Mount Elliott, and Mara McDonald is there live. Mara, police have spent hours now trying to figure out what happened.
Devin, they sure have. Take a look behind me. You can see the crime scene tape is up. The home in question where this happened is this one right here. You can see that it's all boarded up. Neighbors say still homeless people and others are frequently seen inside and outside the home. And now that 63-year-old woman was found murdered inside. In what police are telling us is a terrible scene inside the home, the body of 63-year-old Diane Parker was found around 11:30 this morning.
She was a little bitty old tiny lady. Why would somebody brutally did what they did to her? They could have very well just knocked her down and kept on going.
Parker was in this neighborhood often on her bike. Although her family says she didn't live here, they think she might have been meeting up with a friend at the home where she was found.
I assume whoever it was, she must have knew him.
Neighbors say despite the vacant houses being boarded up, people always find a way in.
It's a back door. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's going on that people don't really know at the end of the day. So it's just a lot of loose people that's hanging around.
And the drug problem here, which these vacant houses help fuel, is a nightmare, as is what happened inside here today. Police are asking those in the immediate area to look around.
Our assailant may have some blood transfer, so if the public has any information relative to this scene here, please contact homicide.
Back here live, you know, Detroit Police Homicide, Crime Scene, and the Wayne County Medical Examiner's Office have all been out at this scene for more than 6 hours at this point, and they don't seem to be moving on anytime soon. We're live on Detroit's east side. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
Yeah, updates just as soon as we can get them to you. All right, Mara. A Detroit man walked out of prison a free man this morning after 42 years inside for murder.
Charles Lewis was 17 when he was convicted of shooting and killing an off-duty police officer in a robbery. He was resentenced this week thanks to a Supreme Court ruling that found teens cannot be automatically sentenced to life terms like adults convicted of murder. Coco McAvoy sat down with him today. Coco, he's stunned to be out.
Yes, he is. We spoke with Charles Lewis and his attorney, and he says he is overwhelmed, but he's a different man now, and he's thankful for that ruling.
It's surreal. It's mind-blowing.
For the first time in 4 decades, Charles Lewis is free from prison.
To go from last night, I was in the hole, sleeping in a cell with nothing in it but a mattress and a blanket and a sheet. And to go from that to standing in the line at McDonald's is like, you know, mind-blowing.
At 17 years old, he was sentenced to life in prison, convicted of killing an off-duty officer in 1977. Lewis says his faith kept him strong.
Only a God could have watched over me.
His case was reopened because the U.S. Supreme Court said teens can't automatically be sentenced to life, like adults convicted of murder.
As a result of that decision, I'm on the streets right now.
Though Lewis always claimed innocence, he has not been exonerated, and he knows some people will still see him as a murderer.
When people evaluate my life, they will always say that, but they will also be able to point out the positive things.
He plans to pursue his original passion, music.
I want to continue that, you know, to see how far I can go.
And his hope is to give back as much as he can now that he's free.
So what else?
And Lewis plays the guitar, he also plays the piano, and he's really hoping to pursue a career in music if he can. Back to you.
All right, Coco.
What a story. Well, we had a freeze warning overnight, though things are looking up now as we head into the weekend.
That they are. Andrew is in for Ben. Andrew, the sun is out. It's kind of warming up a little bit.
Oh, that's right. You're absolutely right, you two. We're looking at beautiful weather for us to enjoy as we go through the evening. Rather cool outside, 53 for our friends in Pontiac, about 55 degrees here in town. Beautiful sunshine bathing Detroit and the rest of southeast Michigan. Hopefully you can enjoy this lovely evening weather. It will continue as we go through the evening. Some clouds off to our west that will stream overhead. High thin clouds, really nothing to worry about. It remains dry as we go through the rest of the evening. Rest of the night as well. Now it does get chillier, not quite down to freezing, but bring the pets back indoors. Fair and chilly tonight with temperatures in the middle, upper 30s to about 40 degrees. Sunshine coming back for your Saturday. Even warmer on Sunday and great marathon weather. How high do those temperatures go? We'll talk about that, our next chance of rain as well in your 7-day forecast in just minutes.
Okay, Andrew, police are looking for a shooter after a man was found fatally shot on Detroit's east side. Police arrived at the scene near East Remington and Conant near a field around 1:30 in the morning. When they got there, they found a man in his late 20s in the front seat of a car with a gunshot wound. The victim was taken to the hospital where he died in the ER. There is no description of the shooter.
This weekend, a crucial one in determining the fate of the 49,000 UAW members on strike for more than a month now. It was breaking news yesterday here at 5 as union heads from all over the country decided a deal with GM was good enough to put to a vote. And tomorrow, the rank and file will begin to get to have their say. Priya Mann live at the Detroit Hamtramck plant, and I'm wondering what you've been hearing now that members have had about 24 hours to digest this, Priya.
You know, Devin, there's a lot of questions. The devil, of course, is in the detail, but members are cautiously optimistic. Take this plant for an example. $3 billion investment in electric trucks and van assembly, more than 2,000 jobs. These members will start to make their voices heard beginning tomorrow. On strike since mid-September, UAW members will stay on the picket lines during the ratification process. Members start meeting on Saturday and have until next Friday to vote, many eager to learn details of the new deal.
It's just a wait and see. We're going to get a lot of it explained to us, you know, and there's going to be a lot of questions, I'm sure.
Here's what we do know about the tentative agreement. Full-time employees will get a signing bonus of $11 grand. Part-time or temporary workers will get a $4,500 bonus. There are pay raises every year for the next 4 years, ranging between 3% and 4%, and there's no change to worker health care costs.
We just want to get back to our, making a good quality product, and I'm pretty sure GM wants to get back to making money also.
While GM plans to retool the Detroit Hamtramck assembly plant for a new product, the plant in Lordstown, Ohio will remain closed.
We were in that same situation. A lot of our members left for Flint, Spring Hill, Arlington, and other places. So yeah, I feel for my union brothers and sisters.
It's the union's first strike since 2007 and the longest against GM in nearly half a century. 46,000 workers walked off the job, costing GM nearly $500 million a week.
It's exhilarating and it's scary. It's exhilarating because we're sticking together, we're standing up for ourselves, and it's scary because we didn't know how long it was going to last and if we were going to get some of the things that we were asking for.
Now, both sides are walking away with something. For GM, they got to close 3 plants while continuing to invest and expand in Mexico. Here in Metro Detroit, the facility in Warren gets a $200 million investment with more than 70 jobs. And by this time next week, we could have a done deal. Reporting live from the Detroit Hamtramck facility, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
And about what's going to happen here over the next week or so, take us through the process a bit, Priya.
All right, so members will begin meeting starting tomorrow, and this is when locals will be able to ask questions and go over the details, and then voting will begin. That deadline is October 25th. What's rare in this case, though, is members will continue to strike through this entire process, and of course, again, that deadline is October 25th, and stay with Local 4 for the latest developments. Send it back to you.
All right, Priya.
Governor Gretchen Whitmer says she's happy to see a tentative agreement between the UAW and GM. Whitmer says she'll work to make sure money planned for Michigan plants is invested here.
We've boasted a number of investments this year, from FCA to General Motors to Ford Motor Company. I think that we really are the center of mobility, and we're going to continue to remain that way. But we have to be shrewd about ensuring that these investments happen, and so it's certainly something that I'm going to work to make sure every dollar that GM wants to invest happens right here in Michigan.
Governor Whitmer was also asked about a report that MDOT's director said Whitmer's 45-cent gasoline tax would have to be 80 cents a gallon to fix all of Michigan's bridges and roads. In response, Whitmer says that's not something her administration has proposed by any stretch.
That caught a lot of folks' attention when he said that. Yep.
It was a special day for the 17 newest Detroit police officers as they were welcomed to the force.
That I will faithfully enforce the laws of this state and the ordinances of the city of Detroit.
After the graduation ended in honor of Breast Cancer and Domestic Violence Month, look at these. 2 special edition Detroit Police Patrol cars were unveiled as symbols of support. And congratulations to the new officers sworn in.
Welcome to the force.
We've got a lot more here at 5.
Here's Hank.
Credit card thieves discovered in an unusual spot. You'll hear what happened to one woman, see how she took action, and learn from one big mistake. Help Me Hank, protecting your personal information, coming up new tonight.
Also coming up, there's a major Michigan connection to today's barrier-breaking spacewalk made up of only female astronauts. Sean?
Big Beaver and Crooks, one of Troy's busiest intersections. We have this video of a police officer coming head-to-head with a wrong-way driver.
You'll be out with the wrong-way driver now.
She could have easily collided with someone else.
Next, live at 5, police share with us her blood alcohol level and how long she was on the road.